Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica. And in today's video, I'm going to be using a new palette that recently came into my collection as a gift from my dear friend here on YouTube. Her name is Jess. Her channel name is Casa Beauty, and I will link her channel in my description box. Now, she and I met, I feel like we met initially on Instagram, right? I don't know. But we met either through YouTube or Instagram, and I just really love her content. And so I shared one of her videos in my community tab post situation, and we chatted here and there on Instagram and stuff. And I just love her looks, and I think she's super beautiful and super talented and really fun and has great taste in makeup. Anyway, she reached out to me and she said, "I'm gonna get you a Glaminatrix palette." And I've never tried Glaminatrix before. I don't really know a whole lot about the brand other than I've seen people use Glaminatrix on YouTube, of course, and on Instagram, and have always been like, wow, they have really beautiful palettes. But I don't know. I get stuck on certain brands and stuff, and I just kind of forget that other brands exist, I guess. Anyway, she said, "I'd really like to get you a palette from Glaminatrix." And I'm like, what? I couldn't believe it. Super thrilled and like appreciative, and feel very lucky and fortunate that she was kind enough to send me this beautiful palette. And this is the, let me pull out the little plastic sleeve. This is the Nearly Neutral palette. It's got plastic covering on the outside of the palette, which I'm just going to leave on here. But isn't it cute? And then this is the Color Story Beautiful Neutral palette. And to be honest with you, I don't have a ton of neutral palettes in my collection anymore. I've decluttered a good handful, not because I didn't like them necessarily. It's just, I don't know, they were old and I wasn't reaching for them a whole bunch. I do have like the Stone Cold Fox from ColourPop, which I will never get rid of because it's my favorite neutral palette, although this might change my mind, you never know. And I have, a few other ones, but I just think this is stunning. And I realize that neutral palettes are not for everyone, totally understand that, but I love them, I really do. And I don't think they're boring. And I don't think there's anything wrong with using neutral palettes and putting beautiful, classy, soft glam type eye looks together with a neutral palette at all. And I was just thrilled that Jess sent this to me. So I recommend, if you have not yet gone to Jess's channel, Casa Beauty, and subscribed, go do it. Show her a ton of love and support. I feel like at one point it was she and her friend were doing a channel together. I have not watched any real makeup content in a long time because I've just been busy with my life, and my grandson was here, and I don't know. Also, I've been addicted to watching the show Pey Blinders for the past few weeks. Oh my God, it's so good. So anyway, I just need to get back in the habit of watching people's videos. I've just been horrible about that lately. But anyway, I love her. I think she's wonderful. So again, thrilled that she sent this to me. So I want to put an eye look together for you guys with this palette. And where my eyes immediately go is over here, these olivey tones. I'm thinking about using this shade here. This is called Down to Earth. This is called Essence. This is called Naturally. And then for the shimmers, I'm thinking Exposed, New Nude, maybe a little bit of Unveiled. I know there's darker, I don't know. That's just really what I want to do. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm really hoping that I love this palette. I'm sure I will. I've heard nothing but really good things about Glaminatrix palettes. Okay, so starting off by putting Down to Earth in my transition area. I do have both brows done with the NYX Control Freak Clear Brow Gel, and this eyelid is primed in the P. Louise eyeshadow base in Rumor 02. Alrighty, so starting off with Down to Earth. And I have not done my makeup in oh man, I think the last time I really did my makeup was when I did my collab video, my Fab 5 with Jenny. That's the last time I've done my makeup because I took a break. And so I don't know, I might be a little rusty here. We shall see. Just make sure that's not creasy. Not really. And I hadn't plucked my eyebrows in a while. So before I filmed, I plucked them, and I have an ingrown eyebrow right there. Who gets an ingrown eyebrow? I do. And so my eyebrows are a little red around here. So if that's annoying or distracting, I don't know. I just felt like I needed to deal with my eyebrows because they were getting a little out of control. I typically will pluck the stray hairs I don't know, a couple times a week. And I hadn't done it in I don't know, 2 weeks, something like that. It's geez. And ooh, this is a lovely shade. absolutely lovely, and it's nicely pigmented. And you know, when I first start with a palette, like the very first time I use one, I kind of go in like light-handed, just get enough on the brush to like coat it, but not like too, because you don't know what you're dealing with until you deal with it, right? So you know, I don't really like put a ton on the brush. I just put enough to like apply it to my lid and then kind of build from there. That's kind of how I do it with every palette though, I would say. So what the hell am I talking about? But I love this color. And I like the fact that there's some grunge in here, you know, neutral grungy stuff. Love it. Love it. So yes, as I mentioned, I have been obsessed with the show Pey Blinders on Netflix. And I know it's an older show. I think it filmed from 2018 to 2022. And I don't know where the hell Paul and I we're going to watch it in the past. I think we did kind of start watching it, but for whatever reason, we couldn't really get into it. But I have become mildly obsessed with Cillian Murphy. Like if I get into an actress or an actor or I don't know what movie, I get like hyper focused on it. Like almost ridiculously so. And you know, I saw 28 Years Later, and Cillian Murphy is in 28 Days Later. I don't know. And I know that Cillian Murphy is going to be in the 28 Years Later follow-up in January called The Bone Temple. So then I started like doing a deep dive into him. I've watched like his very first movie, which is called Disco Pigs. I've watched Delinquent Season. I'm going to watch Red Eye, and now, of course, Pey Blinders. That's lovely. It's gorgeous. So I do want to, like, kind of tone down that edge with a little bit of essence. I'm going to grab another brush for that. But, I mean, Pey Blinders is about, like, gangsters in Birmingham, UK, in, like, the late 1800s and the early 1900s. And so it's very violent. And it's, you know, some scenes aren't the easiest to watch, no, but I'm telling you, the acting is unbelievably good. So good. You get so wrapped up in every character, especially Cillian Murphy's, because he's like the, you know, main character, like the head of the Pey Blinders gang, which the Pey Blinders were an actual gang, during that time. But I believe from what I've read, the show, they were not quite as hardcore or criminally savvy as how they're, depicted in the show Pey Blinders, okay? So, you know, they were more like petty thieves, but in Pey Blinders, he's a, you know, real thug. But he's just so cute. Oops, I have some right there. Okay. He's just so cute that, you know, you just, I don't know. You just kind of overlook what he's doing. I do anyway. I'm like, oh, it's fine. And his character's name is Tommy Shelby. And the Shelbys are like the main Pey Blinder characters. And then it just kind of spans out from there. But if you've never watched it and you're into shows like that, like period pieces kind of, and like gangstery, mobstery type stuff, I would highly recommend watching it. I think it's really good. And there's going to be a Pey Blinders movie that's going to come out, I think either at the end of this year or beginning of 2026, called The Immortal Man, I think is what it's called. And I'm so excited for that. So I'm almost done with the whole series on Netflix. I'm on the final season. I think there's 6 episodes, and I'm just started episode 3. And I'm like, oh, I love this. I think it's gorgeous. It's working really well together, and the tones are wonderful. Okay, so now to deepen up the outer V, I'm gonna go to this shade here called Naturally, okay? And I need to find another brush, of course. Okay, use my Refer 13 brush. So I would love to know if any of you have watched Pey Blinders. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Very nice. And I can tell you that I've not seeing any patchiness. I feel like everything's blending out well. Very opaque matte formula, you know. It's really nice. Really nice. I have no idea like how much these palettes cost. I don't know. I don't really know much about Glaminatrix. I had planned on like looking up some facts about the brand before I sat down to film like last week. When my grandson was here, I was like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll like, oops. I got a little plastic tag stuck in my hand and I dropped it on the palette. I thought, oh, I'll do that. And then did I do that? No. And then I sat down to film and I'm like, oh shoot, I was going to look into that. And I thought, well, I don't have a ton of time right now to film. So I'm just going to, anyway. So if you want to educate me, if you know a lot about Glaminatrix and you want to educate me about Glaminatrix in the comment section, go ahead. I'd love that. So anyway. And there is a mirror in the palette, and you know, it's really nice. It's got a nice like weight to the palette, you know. It feels good. I know that sounds kind of dorky, but I just like having those kind of sturdier feeling palettes. I don't know. Maybe I need more of a life, probably do. Okay, I do like that a lot. However, I kind of want to, you know, not kind of want to, I do want to blend it out a little bit more or better with the down to earth shade. So let's go back in. I will go back into that and just kind of take the edge of that shade down. I honestly was a little nervous to sit down to film right now because I haven't done my makeup in so long. It just feels, but I guess you have like the muscle memory and you know, so it's fine. I mean, I feel like I'm doing okay. Right, sure. I took a week off of work to be with my grandson, and then, you know, Paul and I went to the Oregon coast. And, you know, I don't often take a big chunk of time off of work unless it's like, you know, Christmas time or I don't know, because it's just not fun to come back because it's so chaotic and I have a million emails and messages from people and, you know, there's stuff I have to do every day. And sometimes the other staff that I work with, they're busy so that some stuff gets missed. And so I was like, on Monday, I was like, oh my God, there's so much for me to do. I'll go back in with this just a little bit right here. And on Monday, it took me from when I arrived at 8 a.m. until about 2 p.m. to get really caught up on stuff. And a bunch of new people are starting. And so it's just, I'm gonna go back in with this brush, nothing additional on it, just kind of make sure the edge of that looks nice. So anyway, it's just been a little much, okay? A little much. So it was great to have the week off. But then you go back and it's like, oh boy, this is gonna be tough. And it was a little tough. So, oops, what's that? It's probably an eyebrow. Okay, got that out. I think that's blended beautifully, so I'm gonna leave it. Yeah. So now for the shimmers. I think what I'm gonna do is pop a little bit of this. It's called Raw. Yeah, Raw right there. And then I might just use just this one and really, you know, over the most of the lid. I really love that shade and I really want to see what it's going to do. Do you see that? Okay. I mean, I don't know. So now I'm going to go into Raw, that kind of pinky. And I like that, like I said, that there's like rust and brown and the black matte, which is always wonderful. I might pop the black matte on my lower lash line. And then like the lighter tone. I mean, you know, you can do a light look, a deep look, mix, you know, it's cool. All right, so this is gonna, ooh, that's pretty. And a lovely formulation, I can tell already. I can typically tell like right when I put a shimmer on my lid if I'm gonna love it or not, you know? Or like, maybe not love it, but if I'm gonna like it. I'm in here. I am in here, my darling. I am in here. Spitzy. You can hear me talking, sis, can't you? Come in here. Usually though, like right when I apply it, I can tell if I'm gonna like it or not. And this is lovely, yeah. Beautiful. So of course I'm trying to take this up over my crease because if I don't, it's gonna transfer up there anyway. Right. Okay, that's lovely. Yeah, I really like that. I like it a lot. I love it, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna clean this brush off on my color switch here. Just keep using it, but just try to get as much of the shade off as I can and just flip it over. And now I'm gonna go into Exposed. And is this a duochrome maybe? I mean, none of them really look that one kind of does. That one is called Smolder. I'm gonna use that one in my next look. And I'm gonna use this again on my channel, by the way. I just wanted to finally sit down and film with it because I've had it for a couple of weeks and I was feeling like a jerk for not filming with it yet. So I'm gonna go into Exposed now. None of them really look super shifty necessarily. Well, this one actually, I think this one does have a shift to it actually. What the hell am I talking about? Yes, it does. You can see it on here now. It's kind of got like a brown and gold. Woo! Beautiful. Okay. So I'll put this here. Oh, that's stunning. Oh yeah. Ooh, lovely formula. Lovely. Just goes right where you want it to go, you know? And I don't have any fallout. None. None. Yes. That's fun. I mean, I don't really care about fallout because I don't ever do my face makeup first. You know, my base, I never do it first. I always do my eyes first. But, you know, it is nice to not have to spend a lot of time cleaning stuff up, you know? It is. It's nice. So if I don't have to do that, that's great. Bitsy, don't you dare come in here and start toothing stuff, girlfriend. You make too much noise. Okay. And another thing that I determined today at work is I really needed to get a new office chair. My back is all screwed up. Like I stood up to go check in a client, I could barely walk. I was like, ugh, I hate my back. I really hate it. I'm going to go into raw with my finger now. Just add a little bit of that back since I kind of covered it up a little too much with the exposed shade. This is gorgeous though. God, I love it. And you know what, you guys? I mean, of course, I will always love my colorful palettes. But I'm really feeling that, I don't know, sometimes I just feel like I look better in neutral palettes as I age. And listen to me very carefully here. I don't think you have to change your makeup application due to your age if you don't want to, ever, okay? Ever. I think you are entitled to wear whatever kind of makeup you want to wear, no matter how old you are. So that's not me saying, well, you shouldn't. No, I would never tell you that. It's just for me, sometimes I think, am I getting too old? I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into Naturally with this brush here again and just kind of try to tone the edge of that shimmer down a little bit so it's not quite so shimmer matte, you know? Make them look a little bit more friendly with one another. And then I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, looks good. Okay, I'm going to go around one more time and down to earth with brush. One more time, just go around the shimmers just to make them look a little less chaotic, maybe, if I can do that. And yeah, oh, Jess, I could just kiss your whole face off for sending me this palette. It's beautiful. And like I said, did I say this? Jess is stunning, okay? Stunning. She is just breathtakingly beautiful, okay? Breathtaking. And she's done, like, reviewed the palettes. Did she rank them too, I think? That she, like, used the month prior or whatever, and that was a really fun video. Yeah, I just really like her. She's really laid back and just easy to watch, you know? Okay, I think I'm done, you guys. I really do. I love this. I think it's beautiful. So I think what I'm going to do on my lower lash lines off camera is use the black matte, this and that. And then in my inner corners, I'm going to use Nude, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go do that off camera and I will be right back. Obviously, I'm back, newsflash, and this is the finished look. And I absolutely love how this look turned out. I think it's beautiful. I think the shades I use out of the palette today are absolutely stunning and cannot wait to use the palette again. I will do a multiple looks video with this palette, absolutely. Still trying to work out my filming schedule, but I will get there. I promise. So I went pretty light with my rest of my makeup today because sitting in this chair is really not making my back very happy at all. I need to get up out of the chair. So just kind of hurried through the rest. So let me show you what I have on my face today, and then I'll give you my first impressions of the palette. Very wonderful first impressions of the palette. Okay, so for my base product, I just used my powder foundation. This is the Maybelline New York Super Stay Full Coverage up to 16-hour coverage in the shade 220. I've had this forever. It works great, especially when I just want a light coverage. I mean, you know, the staying power maybe isn't as good as like other liquid foundations that I have in my collection, but I just love it, especially if I'm in a hurry and just, you know, I used this when I went to see 28 Years Later, and it just, I don't know, I feel like it makes me look glowy, even though it's powder. I don't know. Then for my blush, I did not use a bronzer or a highlighter today. This is the Pixie by Petra Fresh Face Blush in Ginger Blossom. Panned it too. Isn't that cool to have pans hold on, I'm going to show it to you again. I know, just showed it to you, but isn't it cool to have pans in your collection? I just think that's so fun because I have a lot of makeup, so I don't pan stuff very often. Anyway, this is one of my favorite blushes. It just happened to be sitting on my desk, and I thought the color would work really well with the makeup look today. Again, no bronzer or highlighter. On my upper lid liner, for my upper lid liner, I use the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof, Waterproof Felt Tip Liner in black, as I typically do. Love this stuff. And then mascara, say it with me, the Maybelline New York Sky High, because that's all I use now. My lips, I used a gloss from Unique. This is in the shade Loved, and I just felt like this would be perfect. It's subtle, I think, but yet just enough, you know? And I wanted more of like a soft, classy, neutral look, so I don't know, and I love this. It's not goopy, it's not sticky, it has a nice kind of like maybe chocolatey smell to it, really nice, and I think that's it. Yeah, okay, so let's talk about the eyeshadow palette. Glaminatrix Nearly Natural. Did I say nearly neutral? It's Nearly Natural. I never can remember exactly what comes out of my mouth. Okay, so for my inner corners, I did use a New Nude, love it. Beautiful, opaque, stuck right in the inner corner, really easy to apply. On my lower lash lines, I put the Black Matte Cinder towards the outer part. This is going to be really fun to put all like across my entire lid, maybe top it with one of these lighter shimmers. Beautiful. And then I did blend it out a little bit with Naturally, and then towards the front part of both lower lash lines, I have a hair that's bugging me. I put Down to Earth, and then kind of blended that out a little bit with Essence. So I have 4 shades on my lower lash lines, but you know, fun. And then I did take this shade here called Second Skin, and I just took a little bit of that on my finger and just kind of blopped it in between these 2 shimmer shades because I felt like my skill set wasn't really jiving with making these look cohesive. It was like gold and then reddish, I don't know. And so adding this kind of like rusty orange in between these 2, I think really worked out well. I feel like the mattes worked beautifully. They were pigmented, but not like overwhelming or intimidatingly so. They blended out beautifully. These 2 worked together like a dream. This was lovely to deepen up the outer V with, and it jived really well with this shade here, these 2 together. Wonderful. I wasn't really sure how that was going to go. And then the shimmers are just stunning. That sticky, opaque, you put them on your lid, they stay where you put them, really metallic. Nothing was patchy, you know, like for a first time using a palette, I had a really good time. And you know, I'm really enjoying neutrals. I will continue to use my colorful palettes. I mean, if I don't, what a moron. I have tons of colorful palettes in this room. If I quit using them, that would be a really dumb thing. But I will say that I'm really liking my neutrals. So you might see more neutral looks coming up on my channel. You might not. I might change my mind. I don't know. The wind just kind of blows me in different directions depending on what's going on. Anyway, so love the palette. Really thrilled that Jess sent this to me. I'm very touched by her generosity and kindness. Make sure you go to her channel, Casa Beauty. Like I said, I'll have it linked in my description box, and go show her a ton of love and support because she really deserves it. I really enjoy her content. Just need to get better about watching more of it. I really do want to do like a multiple looks video with this palette. I gotta get my filming schedule figured out better. It's a work in progress, you guys. I don't know why it's so freaking difficult for me, but right now it is because my sleep sucks. I do want to swim. I don't know. So let me know if you have this palette in your collection or anything else from this brand. I need to maybe familiarize myself a little bit more with the brand, like I mentioned when I was putting my look on. And then also, please let me know if you watch Pey Blinders or you have watched Pey Blinders so we can obsess about it in the comment section. And Cillian Murphy, Be Still My Beaten Heart. Oh my gosh. And then also let me know if you're going to see the new Pey Blinders movie. Can't wait for it. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course, comment down below in the comment section. I love to chat with you guys there. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video. But in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself. Be well, safe, happy, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Drop it.